Robbing her, throw up the sex in her.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of What's the 4-1 Hole with your host, Tay Tay. I hope you're all enjoying season 2 so far. Don't forget to check out the last episode, our Q&A episode, where the audience got to ask the crew any question they wanted to. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all wild as shit that last. Some of the questions y'all asked, I couldn't even put them on the actual episode. But for today, I got a Let's Talk Business banger for y'all today. So hurry up and go grab a notepad, a binder, or anything you may need to take some notes because we're going to dive deep today. And like always, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like this video for today. If you like the video, if you want to be a guest star on the podcast, or if you have any topic suggestions, just throw it right down in the comments and we'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, or we'll try our best to schedule you, okay? But like I said today, we're doing Let's Talk Business series, and the industry that we'll be going over today is the apparel and fashion design industry. Now, I know a lot of y'all keep requesting this video. A lot of y'all want to get into it. So for today, I got the founder and CEO of HotBoy Clothing. Like now, I know I'm a hot boy, so I got to say a little bit about it, but let's give it up for Mr. HotBoy Jig.
How y'all doing?
How you doing today? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. How y'all doing?
How's New Year treating you so far?
Man, it's treating me good so far. I just got my LLC. Just been working towards that and stuff. I got a new website coming out, stuff like that. So yeah, just been working.
I just need everybody to remember that we're LLC because, not to be rude or anything, a lot of people, they tell everyone they have a business, but it's not an official registered business like how yours is. So I will get into that a little bit later though. But like the first thing I gotta say though, the name, where did you come up with the name? And I gotta know, where's the name come from?
HotBoy. Well, I'm from Louisiana, so you know, HotBoy, it kind of just it gives me that like that old Lil Wayne type flow, you know what I'm saying? So kind of brought that back, and it's just like, you know, it compares to me type stuff. So it just went.
So when you first created, like when you first came up with the idea, everything, did anybody ever say anything about like Megan Thee Stallion or mention her little thing about hot girl clothes, like hot girl?
Nah, they didn't. I actually didn't really know about her hot girl clothing and like that. You know what I'm saying?
Because how long ago were y'all founded? How long did you start ago? How long did you start?
Yeah, I started August around 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Damn, so you started in like the midst of, like at the beginning or towards like we was just entering COVID and shit like that the very next year, right? Yeah. So how did your business cause I know entering into COVID and especially starting a business during COVID, how was it then at the beginning compared to now? Since we've been now all of us familiar with COVID and everything.
Right. In the beginning, that's when COVID was real hectic, you know, around that time. But I was just at first I had shirts, you know what I'm saying? I was still trying to come up with the full design and everything. But as time went on, you know, I used Instagram for my main platform, you know, stuff like that. So it just, you know, I just kept being consistent and kept working with it.
Do you still use like Facebook and do you use Snapchat or Facebook as a platform?
Yeah, definitely. It's like I have new content. I kind of just use it on there, you know, just to promote.
Yeah, because I talked to a lot of recent people. A lot of people, they all should know about Facebook Marketplace, but also a lot of them just keep saying how like a lot of only the elder adult or the elder crew is on Facebook. That's why you cannot use Facebook. But like I tell everybody, my biggest advice is try to use every single social media platform so that way you can reach all the different type of demographics or audience. Because some people only solely use Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter like that.
Exactly.
So wait, when you came up with the idea, did you get any constructive criticism on any of your designs, or did you like allow for yourself to make those edits and designs yourself?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, just come up with, you know, make my own type of criticism, like just to make sure I liked everything and stuff like that. But I know like it was just like I had to start type thing. A lot of people they talk about the idea and they don't actually just start to see, you know.
I can see it. So then what are some tips when you first just got started? What made you say like, fuck it, all right, I'm gonna just actually do it? Like, I know a lot of people, that's the one thing that's holding them back. Like they scared to jump in, they
So,
scared to spend money, they scared to take that
right.
risk.
That well, first of all, you gotta have faith. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move faith, like you gotta have that spiritual side in you. But you gotta, you gotta invest. You know, if you don't invest, you're not. If you want your business to be far, you gotta put something in toward to make it good. Nothing free, and you definitely gotta just keep working.
That's why I keep telling people stop counting the dollar signs. Like my
Right,
goal is if it's to put out the best quality product, I'm not going to sit there and continuously count. I'm a manager budget, so I don't overspend, but I'm not
right,
counting like, damn, I spent it on this like I should have never had. Each thing that I done for my business on every decision I made, it was to help grow the business in some way, shape, or form. And I
right.
think we should stop being scared of that risk because only thing that risk is just something you haven't done before. And then once you do it, then you're gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, this shit well, it's a little bit easy, but I can kind of get the hang of this."
Right, yeah, definitely. It's just about and then being consistent, really. The
Mhm.
two main.
So, in terms of quality, how did you think that you remain consistent throughout all your products, from your hoodies to your shirts and everything?
At first I was just like trying to be creative with everything. I know like some stuff might not work, but it's just like I gotta put it out anyway to see what people feel and what not feeling. You know what I'm saying? So
And then,
it's
do you
kind of
make
like,
all the impress everything on the shirt yourself, or you have somebody who makes them and then send it to you?
look, I have a designer, but I do all that myself, all the printing, everything.
So then,
Yeah.
all in all, like around about how much you think it costs for like all the equipment that you purchase? Because like, what is some of the equipment that you purchase?
Well, like I got the machine, like the press machine. I got like mini press, all that. I mean, you spending all that together probably a good 500. Just
Oh,
like
that's
a
not
good.
bad.
Yeah, you just got. It ain't that expensive. You know what I'm saying? But just it depends on where you're getting it from.
So then,
You know,
how long
so,
did it take you to break even?
um,
Like when you bought your
it
equipment and after you started selling stuff?
started selling. It's a few months.
Only a
Few.
few months. Yeah, that's
I
really
just had
good.
support around my family and stuff like that, and then usually you gotta promote yourself. That's the biggest thing you have to, because people don't see your stuff, they see the promotion of your stuff, and if they constantly keep seeing it, it's like it's gonna keep a little buzz, like, dang, okay, I keep seeing this. So
That's
yeah.
what I started. I think when I created What's the 410, everybody kept saying like why I created it. And I was like, cause Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland area code is 410. Like I thought everybody was gonna know that. But then that's what I thought about that little slogan slash catchphrase, like what's the 443? And I was like, everybody like, what is like? I know people don't use that shit now, but back in the day, they used to. Most likely, it was a white person who used like, "What's the 443?" Like something like that.
Yeah,
So that's why when I first came up with it, I had some friends who didn't even believe in the podcast, want to be a part of it. How did you
right.
feel when some people that actually didn't buy a product from your website that was your friends or family?
Family. um I was just like, I didn't really feel bad about it. I'm just like, some people, that's gonna help you determine who really supports you and who don't. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't get in my feelings about the type of stuff. But it's just like, at the end of the day, it's gonna show if who really.
Yeah, because I that's why I noticed but I think my biggest thing with the fashion design, well, not just I'm not even worried about fashion side. I guess the apparel side of the industry. Do you believe the market is a little bit oversaturated with apparel designers or people starting clothing brands and things of that sort?
Yeah. Maybe sometimes, because I feel like you gotta kind of have a passion for it. I feel like a lot of people just start one just to kind of see, but like if you're not like you don't like fashion and you're not really in that type of, you
Yeah.
gotta find that.
That's why I keep telling people stop trying to chase it. Don't ever start a business for the sole purpose of just making money. Like that's why
Right.
a lot of people run into that issue because if you don't have, like what he said, if you don't have the passion or the heart behind it, I guarantee you're going to wake up dreading going back to a job or a home. You created a job that you don't even want to go to or work for. So that's why
Exactly.
I tell everybody, like when you first create a brand and you first start thinking of your ideas, don't go jump into naming everything or coming up with the name. Figure out the idea and the market and the niche you want to go to. And then after
Right.
that, that's when everything else will start to come. But again, if you think you're just going to hop into a market and make money and hop out of the market, I guarantee you there's no industry except for the casino that allows you to do that. You may make money, you may not. So that's why I'm like, that's just a risk. But my biggest thing, do you have any tips for anybody who's a part of like any creative director or any fashion designer? Do you have any tips for how they can overcome like a creative wall or a block that they're experiencing?
Um, honestly, just find different ways to be creative. You know, instead of you gotta step outside the box, and sometimes that may just be like looking at something like just coming up with some different things. You know.
And then do you think in terms of the fashion apparel industry and getting back to being saturated, do you feel like we've reached our somewhat not necessarily a creative ceiling, but in terms of products that we can offer, like from like shirts, hats, like jackets and stuff like that? Do you think we hit a ceiling with that? Like, cause I can't think of any like jorts or shorts like how they used to wear the jean shorts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And all. Do you think we're gonna have another like big innovative boom in our fashion industry soon?
Um, yeah, I mean it might happen. Might probably not from like all the clothing brands, but definitely it's gonna be that one that kind of just like when I first did bikinis and stuff, like people was telling me, it might not work, it would, but I thought it was a boom, like it was a bang.
Especially for living in Louisiana and then it being hot down there. Why would they? Yeah,
But
why wouldn't they think that a bikini wouldn't work down there? Because are you surrounded by a
I
lot of
don't,
water?
I guess because like you know, it's but the women really like support you, like you know what I'm saying, like especially if you got female clothing. I feel like those are the main
But in
supporters.
Louisiana, do y'all have a lot of water there though? Like a
Yeah.
oh y'all like for bet. So then when you want to enter like a different market within the fashion apparel, who do you go through for that decision? Do you just work with yourself, or you actually like when you first created the bikini, where did you get the idea from? And then what made you be like, yeah, I actually want to test this shit out?
Honestly, it was just something that I thought. I was like, the summer was coming up. I know girls are like big on bikinis and like swimwear. So I'm like, I'm not gonna know unless I try, you know what I'm saying? So I just put everything together and they was feeling it. It was
So then
definitely feeling it.
what influenced you to create the whole brand in general?
The brand. Um, it's a part of me. And then at the same time, it's just like I'm a big fashion person. So I was like, instead of me just buying everybody like let me have something that I own, you know what I'm saying? Like something that's to share with everybody and they can be a part of that too, and just encourage people.
So do you believe people have to go to school for fashion design or apparel or no?
That, nah, I don't think so because it's like sometimes it's just if you're a creative person already, it's just like, you know,
Just
you
putting
just
everything
come up,
together.
you just gotta think of, and just put it together.
Was it hard when you first started putting when the picture wasn't clear and you started putting the pieces together and you were spending money? Did you ever doubt yourself at any time, and how did you overcome that doubt?
Um, you gotta be like strong spiritually, At first when I was doing it, I was like, dang, well, I'm not getting much sales right now. But it's just like I just gotta keep promoting. I know it's gonna jump eventually, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you gotta be consistent, even
That's
if
a,
you don't see.
you said
That's the hard
consistency again.
part to do, like just to be consistent with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the biggest thing. When I first created the podcast and we was getting we honestly, let me tell y'all, for like the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we was only getting about like 30, 40 views. And I was
Uh,
sitting there like, this shit is horrible. Like, I understand we just starting, but I definitely got more than 40 friends, right? Like I'm not
right,
bugging. And then once we started, like out of nowhere, when we put a video up, it had like 3,000 views. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, okay. And then after that, more people started tuning in and tuning in and tuning in. And after that, that's when I was sitting there like, what did I do before that I didn't, that I now offer now? And what did I change? But the biggest thing was, I think the biggest thing for any industry is just remaining consistent with the people or your demographic that you're selling to. Because that's what
right.
everybody look for in terms of
Yeah,
quality, the design. When they buy stuff, they don't want to buy one shirt and then it's all perfect and everything. And the next one, all the threads and stuff coming out towards now, you got to go buy a
right.
whole new one. But when you first created a design that was talking about quality, did you do like a regular like cotton shirt? Did you actually think about like combining like dry fit and stuff like that? Like, how did you
Yeah,
figure out the
like
materials to use?
because like it depends on the product. Like if you're using cotton like shirts and stuff like that, you got to make sure whatever you're using like it sticks to the cotton. You know what I'm saying? You can't put certain stuff on a dry fit shirt because it's not gonna really
Like,
stick
what is that
together.
example?
Like okay, like vinyl. Like if you trying to, because a dry fit is it's not really cotton. It's like silk kind of fabric or whatever. If you try to put that, it'll stick, but it's just like the cotton will actually sink in with it. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow, yeah.
Or if you just like some people sew their stuff in, like they patches and stuff like that. That works too, but it wouldn't work on a dry fit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So then, what do you consider like your not other than your company? What is one of your favorite brands that you shop from?
Nike. I'm a
Nike.
big Nike. Yeah,
So what makes
definitely.
you
I
like
like.
Nike? Like I feel as though like I, even I like Under Armour. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like that time has passed. I feel as though
Yeah.
I like Adidas now. Like Adidas coming up out of nowhere, changing a lot of stuff. But what really makes you like Nike compared to everyone else?
I don't know. It's just it's cool and it's like simple. Like my stuff is like kind of real. Like my clothing and stuff. I don't like stuff that just be all over. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like Jordan too, but I'm like Jordan is like everybody got to Jordan. Like I tried to switch it up, and I'm like Nike just cool. Like
And my issue is I feel as though my biggest issue with Jordan, if I want to get it out the way, every time I look at a collection of shoes, he puts out like like 30 of them of the same shoe
right,
over and over and over, just different colors. That's my biggest issue because I'm looking at the market right now. We have seen the same consistent shoe that didn't even change design or
right,
innovate the market at all, but the price continuously still raises. So that's where
right,
my issue come from. If the quality don't change because the shoes still crease just as much as they did before, and you
right.
still have to worry about all those issues. Why do people still continuously buy Jordan over and over and over when only certain shoes at market prices like going to continuously skyrocket while others going to continuously plummet down?
Right. I feel like it's just because it's Jordan. I feel like people just get stuff because it's new, honestly. But when I shop, I don't look at what's new. I look at what I like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what looks good to me. And that's you being unique, not just following a trend of, you know what I'm saying? Just yeah,
How
all
do
of
you
it.
feel about those type of apparel companies that look at what's trending, like what's the number one trending apparel product and stuff like that, then hurry up and post it up on their website and then people go buy it, then they move to the next thing. I feel like a company like Sheen that does that, like Sheen and like all the fast fashion companies. How do you feel? What is your like take on fast fashion itself?
Um, I feel like they just honestly they just trying to get money. I feel like most of the time, like they don't really like with Jordan. I feel like they just trying to grab people attention or whatever. Just I feel like people just get it just because it's Jordan. You know, like you said, it'd be different colors in the same shoe, and they raise the prices. It's just like it don't make sense.
Because I feel as though with fast fashion, like I understand like y'all have to have like the newest or up to date products and shit like that.
Right,
But I feel as though you shouldn't be like dumping all these clothes or like not environmentally safely like disposing of all these clothes. Because once
right,
I saw the other time, like when I was looking at some of these videos of them working in these factories and then they disposing of all the clothes, but the people don't even get to take some of the clothes home and they
right,
had holes in their own individual clothes. I feel as though for the apparel industry, it's all about money and what's the cheapest way to produce the same design for a cheaper cost. Whereas
right,
back in the day, they was just now creating all these new styles. So they was like, yeah, let's put our best effort forward so that way now people can we're going to show our product so people can know where the money actually is being spent.
right.
So then how did you come up with the pricing for your stuff? Like all your stuff, did you just price it like, or did you compare it to everybody else, some benchmarks and stuff like that?
Well, yeah. Well, with the pricing, I kind of looked at other people's stuff. I was like, I'm just starting, so I didn't really want to be like expensive because a lot of people got expensive stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't want to do that, and I'm just starting on. So I'm like, let me make it reasonable for people. That's why it's like you could get a set for like $35, $40, but somebody got a shirt for like 80. You know what I'm saying? Like $60 or $80.
So how much do you think it takes to cost like like to make a fit right now for you? Like how much does it cost to make one fit for you?
So from like, okay, if you do like a track, like a jumpsuit or something like that, plus a hat or something like that, probably like $50.
$50.
Like, but with other people, you spending 50 on like a shirt or like, short, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I try to make it reasonable for everybody.
So like for just like for your hoodies, for example, how much does it cost to make one of your hoodies?
Honestly, that probably under $10, $5 to $10, honestly, to make the full hoodie. Cause I got everything in stock and stuff like that. Yeah. So
and then how much you selling it for?
Probably like $25, $30. Like it's really.
So you're making like 110% profit. Like you making a lot of profit off all your products.
Yeah, because just and still making it reasonable for people to to purchase or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I like, because like the person I talked to last week, that's the other thing I feel about the saturation of the fashion industry. He's charging like $65-$70 for a shirt that just has the logo like right here. And, I'm just sick and tired of keep seeing all these fashion companies that throw a logo right here and then be like, all right, let's go buy it, and then add a hat with a cool design and be like, all right, 75, and it's gonna be $135 total for just a hat and a shirt. And I'm like, damn, but I'm never shopping. I'm not. By the time, I feel like the issue with that is by the time they just get 2 of your items, you could allow for them to get 4 or 5 of your items, and that would have promoted and got your brand more reach than charging for those 2 items.
Right, definitely. I feel like you got to kind of look at it like if you go in the store, they're not going to want something that they could like find at the store. It'd be the same. They want to get like a good deal shopping online. You know what I'm saying? Get, discounts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, a lot of people who want to hop into the fashion industry, that's why I say look for a particular niche that like you're trying to get into. For like example, like my friend, she does want to start a like a bit like what you said, the bikinis, bathing suit, and things of that sort. But then I was like, yeah, a lot of people have like Shein, for example, got them going for like $5-$10. How you gonna beat that? And then she was like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, how you really gonna beat that? Because think about all the other companies doing that. And then she was like, what if I made like for environmentally sustainable? And I was like, oh, there you go. I can't name off a hand right now a company that's environmentally stable that I can go buy some swimming trunks from. But then again, I tell everybody, just look at the industry, figure out what's trending and what's not trending, and figure out how you can turn. I'd look at the trending stuff and figure out how I can turn it into my own way. And then I look at what's not trending and see how I can turn it into something that was trending. Because at one point in time, just because it's not trending doesn't mean it wasn't trending at some point in time before. That's what a lot of people need to understand. But I was going to say for the fashion industry, is there anything that you would change about the industry or anything big or major that's coming for your company?
As far as me, I got a new website coming real soon for you guys. I got some new merch coming. I don't move at everybody else's pace. I feel like everybody should move at their own pace, you know what I'm saying? Because, people just be dropping stuff back to back. Like, I feel like you got to kind of make people excited for what's next. You know what I'm saying?
Right. People don't even be doing no countdowns or none of that. They just be like, oh, new product dropping this afternoon. And I'm like, what makes me want to go buy it? Like, I didn't see a single promotion that said that, like, why I should go buy this shirt.
Right. Definitely. Like, I definitely like just move at a good pace. But as far as the, fashion, I feel like they should be more on the creative side rather than just, throwing a logo anywhere. I feel like anybody could do that, just try to be different,
That's why when I looked at when Kanye West first designed the new Yeezys that look like spaceships and like stuff like that, I was like, all it reminded me of was like when I look at Nike and everybody else, when I look at the car industry, for example, I feel as though Nike and all of them was like the Nissan, Toyota, Honda. Once Yeezy put out a new product, it was like Tesla that dropped on the market, and it was like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Like, and then right after that, everybody else, like, what is it, Fubu and all them started following, and Fila started making those same exact styles.
Right.
what is one way you think we can get rid of that, like people copying? And if
They,
y'all didn't notice, you can't copyright or you can't take one design and claim it for your own in the fashion industry. It's available for anybody. That's how Drawfit was first created by Under Armour. Then that's when Nike actually took Drawfit and made it better than Under Armour, and then that's why we got the Drawfit that we know today. But
right.
how do you feel about companies that's continuously taking design after one person and doing the same thing over and over and over?
They just honestly, they're just trying to do whatever's trending, like whatever's hot. They're gonna copy. Like that's what anybody. They're gonna copy what's hot right now. But it's all about just being different. You got to be unique in your own type of way, rather than just, oh, well, that's hot, so I'm just gonna do that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to just. It's all about creativity. That's my big thing with it.
And I was about to say the biggest thing that you mentioned earlier was about the LLC. When did you
Yeah.
start? How did you go? How was the process for that?
Well, yeah. Well, honestly, I didn't even know much about the LLC. I was in this podcast interview, and one of the dudes, he was explaining to me like how he got his and stuff. Like I'm like, oh yeah, definitely, because I think that's the biggest step for your business is to make it legal, and that's when you trying to progress and stuff. So I did that, and it's easy. Like I'm with this one company. I invested like 600-700 for my LLC and everything all together, and my marketing team and stuff like that. It's just you gotta invest though. Like that's just the biggest thing. Like people will be like, oh well, that might be a little too much, but I mean, if you got it, if you got the money you gotta invest it.
So
You
how
know?
much do you think it costs all in all just for the LLC itself? Because we're
Uh,
already looking at 500 for y'all listen to this. We're already looking at 500 for the equipment. So how much was it for the LLC?
LLC, it was like 600-700.
All right.
But you know what? It honestly depends on where you get it from too. You know what I'm saying? If you could get it from somewhere cheaper than that, but it's just like they might not provide more, support team, marketing and stuff like that, tax people to help you. But it just depends. Like if you want the best, you gotta pay the most.
Was you scared to make that jump to actually start it as a legal business, or did you want to what actually make you stop? Like, I don't want to stop operating as not an official business. I want to start today as an official business.
I was like, man, like around December, I was like, if to start the new year off right, I gotta make everything legit. I'm tired of I want everybody to know, like, okay, this is official business, and it's in the works. So I was like, that was one of my goals, for the year.
And then when we was going back to the cost, so other than just the equipment to make the shirt, how much do you think you spent when you first started on just like the apparel itself, like all the blank t-shirts and hoodies and hats and everything?
I got them in bulk, so probably like a whole thing of shirts, probably like 50.
It was like
40.
100 or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a hundred, yeah, like
Oh
100
wow,
shirts.
that's really good. Yeah, I was gonna say because that means y'all if y'all are waiting to start a clothing brand, I guess the thing that you have to worry and focus on the most is the idea. So like how you're gonna separate yourself from every other clothing brand on the market, but also the apparel itself, what type of
Yeah,
material you're going to offer, the quality of the material. And the biggest thing is learn how to diversify the actual design. Because again, by sticking a logo on the shit, I'm sorry, I'm tired of seeing all this shit. I got about 12 other friends that I honestly, that's why I was like, when I looked at it, I sat down one day, I was like, let me just type in just to go on your Instagram, right? If you have about like a couple thousand, go in there and type clothing or fashion, and you'll see like a huge list of people who currently own a fashion brand, and go through each and every single one of them. You mainly see like a logo right here and then maybe something going across the back. I'm
right.
like, what happened to the whole rest of the shirt? Like, why?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have like a little small, you know what I'm saying? And then they charge. I don't get that. I feel like if you paying a lot, they should have a lot, to offer on the shirt.
Right. And do you think when you think of those companies and things of that sort, do you think they're doing that helping the industry, or is it really just hurting the industry and the fashion industry?
I feel like kind of hurting because at the same time, I feel like they're just like, some of them might have that passion, but I feel like most of them are just trying to profit and stuff like that. It's just like they're using all their creativity together. They just putting some on it, and a lot of people do it because they have like they promote like their cooking business or something like that. A lot of people use like shirts and stuff for that, just to put.
A lot of YouTubers are starting to do that too. Like
Yeah,
I think
they
it's
just
like more of a brand. I think that's a really good branding thing too. If you have a YouTube channel and you throw your thing on there, so every time you walk and you have other people advertising for you, basically for free, is what's happening. And I don't think nobody realized that. Like the biggest reason why when a lot of these influencers and so YouTubers are starting out and they be making all their apparel like $10 or basically free, buy one get one free, it's because you literally walking around with that name on the back. So that way, when other people be like, "Oh, that shit tough," let me go type that in real quick. Now they
yeah,
gain another follower in another business, and you doing that all for free. You ain't even
right.
realize that. Did you ever think about starting like an influencer type thing for your apparel?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely was. I'm thinking about that, trying to figure out how can I do that as well.
And just to break it down to y'all what I mean by influencer. So basically, when a lot of people have clothing companies, a biggest way to boost sales is when you look for different influencers that sells or currently wears a lot of the similar products that you currently offer on your website. Your biggest goal is to pitch to them that they'll be able to offer their own discount code to their own audience. Now, say if I'm Dante and I have like I do makeup, I do makeup, but also you see me always doing like clothing hauls for Fashion Nova. I can partner with you and you give me a code Tay Tay and you receive a 15% off at
Right,
that store. But only I do for the influencer is I send them a whole bunch of clothes they try on. They make the video, they post the video. I get a
right,
500,000 views and I get all the sales. They get a percentage of from the discount code, and I take the rest of the money after everything was already paid for the shirt and stuff. So
right.
that's
Yeah,
what, yeah.
definitely, definitely. I'm trying to find some more influences to help me do that for sure.
How's it been? How has is do you just look up anything or you particularly looking for certain people to fit like your image and brand?
Um, I look for like people that's like real model, like model type people, or like really big on pictures, or just who got a like who could grab people attention, really, you know.
And then once you were starting to offer, my biggest question was when you decided to offer women's clothing, did you
Uh,
ever how my biggest thing was like when I created What's the 410, I was trying to find a name that was going to encompass entertainment and educating and informing people.
mhm.
How when you introduced the women's line, how did that go with being HotBoy Clothing LLC?
Oh yeah, because it's like I feel like it. I was like, dang, that might kind of be tricky too. But like people was really rocking with it. I guess they liked the bikini itself, like the colors I was putting out and just the whole look. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people was just feeling that.
And in
So,
terms of the bikinis, how did you divert? How did you change it up? Like, did you do any of those little string ones that they be doing, or
yeah,
like?
yeah, I try to switch it up with the string, like and just come up with all type of colors, like just different type of colors. You know what I'm saying?
And then, do you have a manufacturer? Like, do you just have a big ass catalog that shows you all those type of stuff, and you pick out like I want that type of bikini, or you're
Yeah,
working with like a wholesaler?
they're like mostly wholesalers too. Like if I don't have those, I'll go to like different companies and invest with them too. But like yeah, they'll have all the different color, and not just be picking them out.
And then, what is your take on custom ink?
Custom made, uh, just like what you mean, like
Like if I was going to start a apparel business, do you recommend people to use custom ink?
cause yeah,
Yeah.
definitely make any like bulk places that's like really a lot of people use. I think those two.
Yeah. Because for custom ink, I always got tarried by shit. Use them only if you're going to do a minimum like 50 to 100, man. Don't try to get no 10, 12 shirts because I was trying to do that for What's the 410 because people was throwing in the comments like, how come y'all don't got match? I was like, why would I want a matching shirt? But that's a good idea. Let me go look at it. I looked
Yeah,
at it and I was like, yeah, I only got like 4 people. It was like $112 for a dry fit boat. It was going to have something here. It was going to have
uh,
something here. I was like, yo, and it was like because they gotta like they do bulk orders all the time. Like
yeah,
that's majority what they do, but they gotta take the time to do this one little ass order. So that's
right.
why I feel as though if you want to do apparel and then you're ready and set to enter the market, I just say do a bulk order off the back. I understand that you're only looking to make a certain amount of money just to test to see if the brand to see if the brand works. Do a small little trial period about like I say 1 month. After
Yeah.
the 1 month is over, you reevaluate. Should I buy another 500 units or should I just keep it? How did you gradually increase your amount of inventory?
Um, Honestly, just the more attention I was getting, like the more people was promoting for me and stuff like that, I kind of just did like that. So like whenever I used to run out of stuff, I'm like, okay, well, I need to get more this time because those actually did numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like the beanies and stuff like that, the little headgear. That was the most recent, people was, I guess because of the weather, I do stuff like whenever it's cold, drop, different stuff like that.
So when you started to see those increase in sales, did you start offering the beanies more on the website, on your Instagram, or how did you
Yeah.
do? Why did it just start? Did it spark out of nowhere, or did it do like promotions and stuff to keep it going?
Honestly, well, what I do, I'll do like certain polls on Instagram to see like, okay, would y'all rather like beans or like ski? A lot of people like, man, beans. I guess because that's what's really popping, in that moment. So I'm like, okay, I drop them, and then they just, that's because I guess it's like something cheap and it's like it's nice, and people are like it's something that they can just grab. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because I was about to say that's a really good idea, especially I guess the biggest thing people should take away for the fashion industry is try to engage your audience when you're first designing and creating, so
yeah,
that way you can figure out what direction to move in. Because like I tell everybody, not everybody advice or opinions is good opinions, and you don't have to implement everything somebody say, but that can have an influence on the decision you make. Because you don't. That's what I hate about a lot of people. They feel as though when you give constructive criticism, they want you to apply every single thing they're saying. No,
right.
supposed to identify the different things that's supposed to help your brand grow, and then you can use certain points what that person say. You don't have to be a blank carbon copy of that individual.
Yeah, definitely. Like stand on your own 10. Like criticism is criticism at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's people's opinion. You know what I'm saying? So
And then for one of my final questions, I was going to say, do you believe you run the business the same way you did when you first started? Or
oh
what is like three significant changes you think you made at this current point to get you to
oh,
this point now?
my promotion, like my strategy of promoting. Like at first it was just basic, but like when I put my creativity, I really tapped in. You gotta promote in like different areas, like podcasts, have different people, for you, or like doing videos, just stuff like that to kind of like create like that buzz around. You know what I'm saying? And
I know.
the second one, creativity. I feel like I'm way more creative now than when I first started. And the consistency, like, it should be like kind of like a job to you. Whatever you're trying to do, it should be like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta, you gotta fit that in your schedule type stuff.
And then and last thing I forgot, since you brought up the website, last thing for our pricing. So when you said that did you create the website and design it yourself, or did you pay for somebody to do it?
My auntie, she has a big like clothing brand. She kind of helped me because I didn't know like how to start a website at first. That's what a lot of people like. How you put your website? I'm like, man, I learned and I just put it together myself. So yeah, definitely. Just try to learn and then go from there. Make it how you
Yeah.
want.
Because there's two things I always like to point out, I like people to use. I always call it YouTube University, because when you go on YouTube, you want to find all the answers, the majority of the things that you're looking for. Shit, that's how we learned how to edit videos and do mic editing and stuff like that in the first place. We just watch YouTube. But the
Definitely.
other thing, you use Fiverr?
Yeah, I do 5 or
Yeah,
6.
yeah. I found that out too, because sometimes say if we have like if we record like 4 or 5 episodes in 1 week and we don't want to edit them all, what Fiverr is a really good a platform that allows you just to type in the person or the industry that you're looking to serve to do a service for you, and there's going to pop down a whole bunch of a list of all these different type of people. You can go through that portfolio and actually choose. Like I found somebody that can do video editing for like $8 an hour. He
Yeah,
wasn't good, but but I still got the option to do it for $8 an hour though.
exactly.
So wait,
Definitely.
what did you use Fiverr for?
Fiverr. I didn't really use it, but like I heard about it, type like I heard about it around. But yeah, I use for the website, I just I use Big Cartel. Like that was one of the big companies that was out, you know, that people was telling me.
Oh,
Big
that's
Cartel.
really good.
And that's what I tell other people. But I'm gonna do Shopify. Definitely. I feel like that's gonna be the next, yeah.
Shopify is going to be a good one too. And also, if you, I suggest if y'all going to do Shopify to start getting into it now because they're still offering that free, you know, the set it up free and the test it
Wow.
out right now, the trial. And then once it's set to set it for a year, that's when they offer a discount code for you to do your first year.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I like Shopify too because at one point I was thinking about doing like wholesaling, but not necessarily like drop shipping.
Yeah.
Because drop shipping is basically people look at all the different trends and find different products they can offer to individuals, and then that's when they use like Alibaba, AliExpress, or different platforms to directly sell it instead of you holding all the inventory.
Right.
So when I started with doing that with Shopify, I gotta say for website designs and putting it together, Shopify was one of the easiest ones that allowed for me to, I can just see how everything was going to go. I can redesign it and then I can look at what other people was doing. I was like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. Every time I didn't want to do something, it gave me the opportunity to change or like manipulate the website, however, and then you didn't even know how to code. You didn't even need to learn how to code either.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the next step.
Yeah. But I was about to say, before we end, is there any other tips or tricks you want to leave for anybody who's about to enter the industry or currently in the industry?
In the industry, just keep being consistent. Keep that creative flow going for yourself. Like, just try stuff. Don't be afraid to try anything, man. Cause you know it's either they gonna feel it or not. But that that's just gonna show you like what area you need to tap in. You know.
Right. So that's why I like to. For the majority of the stuff that we did in life, you ain't know you was going to be able to do it until you did it.
Right.
So, right. I don't think a lot of people realize that, like, even when you went to high school and college, you probably was scared as shit your first day of high school, first day of college, but you ain't know you was going to make it till you made it.
Right. Exactly. Sometimes you got to speak it, like speak it and it'll happen.
Yeah, manifesting. That's my. I think that's the. I think that's my new wave now. Manifesting things in life, because like I'm one of those firm believers that God places individuals and do certain things in your life for a reason. Like the ex that just hit you back up out of 3 years, she ain't hit you back up out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
To me, I feel as though God is placing that individual back into your life for a purpose. Now you don't have to go out there and intentionally try to find the reason. It's just going to eventually come to you, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I just like to say it's been a long time for us to plan this episode. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm actually want to do like a business talk series panel where all of the it will be live and everything, and people will tune in and just ask different questions about the different industries, but especially the apparel one, since it's so many different questions on how to get started and stuff like that. But I just want to thank HotBoy Jig one more time for being a guest star on Worcester 410, especially our Let's Talk Business series. Don't forget, we'll be going live this upcoming Saturday from 7 to 8. It's going to be that's when we got a lot more stuff, and then we'll be having the liquor back out this episode again. So this is going to be fun. But before we leave, did you want to leave anything for the people?
I got a podcast coming out this summer, y'all, on business. Like if y'all got any business questions, man, just stay tuned for that. It's gonna be big.
Oh, that's tough. See, look, I didn't look. See, y'all. I say if y'all about to start a business, I say tune in. I feel as though all business podcasts is going to help you in some sort of facet on getting to that next step, and you won't even realize it.
Exactly. Yeah. Make sure y'all stay tuned.
Yep. And other than that, that's the 410. Like I said, I'll see y'all next week. Peace.